Right, I'm going to run through the test procedure for a K-Jetronic or CIS system. These are particularly off a Porsche, but don't need to be. So first of all, we're basically going to release all the pressure, run the injector up and see when it cracks open and how it cracks open. So hopefully, right, very little pressure, and I'm going to build that pressure until we find a crack. Cracks well, so that was a good crack, no weeping, no spider legging. So there's that crack pressure, just over 2.8 bar. And she cracks nicely. Good spray, slightly one-sided, but okay. Right, next up is to now, we know the crack pressure, so we'll get it back up to crack, and then we'll take the pressure down, make sure it closes and doesn't leak. Right. She's closed. There's no leak in there. Next up, we're going to run a bar over the crack pressure and we'll see what sort of spray pattern she's got. And that spray pattern is a little one-sided. Obviously, I'll try and rotate the... You can see it's a little bit one-sided, but not too shabby. Let's check the rest. All right, next one in the machine. Nice low pressure, 2 bar. Gonna crack that up. Oh, there we go. Just take that down again. Good crack, good spray. Problem is we're up at 3.3 bar. Right, let's bring that back up to crack. And then we'll go back and she's not closing. So we're more like 0.75 of a bar to close, so that's not good. A flat 4 bar because they're all going to be different. That actually looks not too bad. Got a solid line through the middle, but the fan is averagely okay. Right, new injector in, turn the pressure right down. So we'll build the pressure up. That is not what we want to see. Problem is, crack pressure is at 2.4 bar. Yep, and obviously if we close it down, well, it closes at 2 bar. So, well, in fact it closes less than that. So crack is at about 2.45 of a bar. Try that again, you can hear it screaming. Yeah, 2.4-ish bar. And then if I take that down half a bar, we've definitely closed. We're not leaking. It's just got a really low crack pressure compared to the rest. I'm just going to take it up to 4 bar and we'll see what the spray pattern's like. That is pretty terrible. And we're back up in that 2.6, 2.8 range. It's a little bit on the low side. Now we'll drop it half a bar. See if we've got any leaks. No leaks. Hit that 4 bar pressure. Tweak that in. See what the spray's like. I can already see it's not too shabby. Bit sort of one-sided, but overall that's going to work. Testing the crack. Still getting a little spider leg. And that is, yeah, we're probably at about 2.8. Oh, look at that. No one wants that in their life. Yeah, 2.8. Right, so we've set it to 4 bar and we're going to go along and we're going to test each one, see how much it fills up the tube. Right, static test. I just basically filled up the tube, then drained it back out because then it'll always give us a little bit at the bottom, so we're not starting with the dry tube. 15-second run. Let's see if we can not fill up the tube. Got your 4 bar. Won't be touching that dial now. Are we going to fill up the tube? No, we're not. Good. 90cc, pretty much bang on the money. So that's the first run through. Obviously we can't accept that variation, almost 50%. Right, there are the second sets of results there. So I have written them down so we can see them. So there's not a huge amount of difference. These N2, there's a little bit. 4cc, 5cc, not going to worry too much about that. I would say anything within around 5cc is pretty, for this type of injector, is pretty repetitive when you're taking it off, putting it on and all sorts of stuff. The rest are pretty much spot on. So we can just say that this is how they run. Now, again, metering head, so the flow levels are not as relevant, but it just shows you how each one is flowing at a set fuel rate. And that's going to affect spray pattern, blah, 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 blah. You know, you can debate if it's worth the test or not, but crack pressure, spider legging, close pressure, hold pressure, leaking, running pressure, so basically 1 bar over your crack pressure to test them, to see spray pattern and things. A new decent set, and new sets aren't always decent, but a new decent set will have a nice fan, will crack at the same time. Like it's about continuity between the injectors. Cool. All right, and now we have a full set of 6 new. So let's have a look at the crack pressure. So that is consistently a fan spray. The crack pressure is also considerably higher. Let me just show you. Every one of them had basically a crack pressure between 3.7 and 3.8. 1 or 2 had a slightly offset spray, but minimal, good fan, no real problems. I've just reset the pressure. So I'm going to set it at 5 bar. Right, here's a full spread of the 6 that we've got. This one is obviously, what is that, 15-ish mil more than that one, which is going to be like, well, yeah, I mean, that's going to be 10, 17, 18 mil more than these ones. Obviously, I say, this is only part of the flow system. The metering head does the metering of the fuel, but in my eyes, the resistance of the spring inside and the valve and the way the seat's machined and all the intolerances that could be in there also build a picture of the overall flow. So if you had 12 of these, we'd probably have to get a set of 6. So there you have it. If you're doing this for motorsport, I would definitely say buy 12 injectors and we'll try and pick out the best set. All the crack pressures, all the close pressures, all the leaks, all perfect, all roughly the same, like give or take, you know, less than, what's that, 0.1 of a bar really, maybe 0.2 of a bar between all of them. So this set was pretty good, and this is fairly common. Sometimes the discrepancies are more. You might get 20 mil, and that is, like I say, why we're going to order more than you actually need. but for this car, it's a standard road car. It's not doing anything crazy. They don't make a lot of power anyway. I think it's about 160 it made on the dyno. I'll probably pick that up a little bit once we get the fueling correct, but overall, that is how we're going to test and replace